Hi everyone, very good morning. This is Dr. Archana, medical nutritionist from Wilson's community. So today let's discuss about one of the common lifestyle disorder which people are going through nowadays, that is cervical spondylitis. Even of course I am one amongst the person who is suffering with that in the previous years. So cervical spondylitis is nothing but it's a wear and tear in our bones or the disc or the joints in our neck region. So overall, we have spine. In that spine, whatever near the neck portion, we are calling it as cervical. Okay. So at times, that is the reason it is also called neck arthritis or cervical osteoarthritis. So here, if you can see the only the neck portion of that paining or the pain in that portion, we are calling it as cervical spondylitis. The major causes will be because of aging or the wear and tear of this disc. So if you can see that this is the normal disc, so it is equal, uniform in size, shape, everything, and it is protecting between the two vertebrae, and it will prevent the wear and tear also. But what happens, maybe because of your aging process, once we are aging, we lose that elasticity and the water content, and whatever the disc it is there, it will get bulged. Or maybe because of degenerative changes, the bones will cause attrited, or the density of the bone will decrease and it will become thin. So the bone spurs will be formed, which is of course sharp, and which will because of this prolonged exposure or compression of that disc can lead into the compression of the nerve also in between these joints. And at times it might also be due to injury, maybe some accidents or some trauma or something hitting hard. And very rarely it is because of the genetical changes. So if you can understand, wherever whatever the reasons it might be, it is causing compression in this disc portion. Because of that compression, whether either it is attriting or it is bulging, because body have some protective mechanism, so it is bulging so that we can prevent that nerve compression. So what actually happens in cervical spondylitis, or what are the common symptoms? If you can see, the major symptom will be the neck stiffness. So here in the neck portion, everything will be stiff and we can't move our neck, or the rotation parts will be very compromised. And headache, yes, this is very common. Usually people will think it is because of eyesight or some problem in your brain or optic nerve, but even cervical spondylitis will cause headache and pain radiating from that area because of the different reflex movements. So maybe the shoulder or the girdle joint, we call it as, and the neck movement, everything there, that area will be painful. And numbness or also tingling sensation will be there in very severe conditions. If the nerves are getting compressed, as we discussed, even the tingling sensation, and even if B12 is very less, especially vegetarians should take care about it. At that time, they get this numbness or tingling sensation. And sounds also, some popping sounds and grinding sounds will be there. And the posture will be changed, and they will feel difficult in walking also. So repetitive risk movement, neck movement. If a few people will be always moving, okay, and all these smoking and lifestyle disorders also will cause. The major thing is overweight and sedentary lifestyle. So all the weight in this region, we even call it as buffalo hump. So that buffalo hump also will create some pressure in that neck region, the cervical spine region, and will cause the spondylitis and injuries, as we discussed. Yeah, these are the risk factors or the causes for the cervical spondylitis. So we can diagnose this with a physical examination. You can go to a orthopedic or normal doctor. And in the X-ray, the degenerative changes will be easily notified. And CT scan for the soft tissue changes, X-rays for the hard tissue bony changes, and MRI also, like a nerve test, and even nerve conduction studies also will help you in diagnosing this cervical spondylitis. So the treatment portion mainly focuses on lifestyle and self-care changes. Main thing is maintaining good posture. Unknowingly or knowingly, a few people who are sedentary or having high desk time periods from morning to night, they will be moving or bending their neck, or there will be too much lowering their neck, or the posture will be different. So we need to cautiously keep the neck in straight, and whatever the working area, the laptops or the phones or desktop, it should be placed parallel to their eyes. And of course, prolonged, if they are having some prolonged work in between some gap, at that time they can do some minor stretches, or they can move, or they can take some rest. And even during sleep also, they should avoid too soft and without pillow, or too height and hard pillow also. So to the neck level, they can use that pillow, or if they doesn't have habit, they can use some height, maybe whatever they are using. So posture changes comes a major portion here. And of course, if it is very painful, you can go for some analgesics, or if there is some deficiency, if there is a nerve compression and this nerve is always inflamed, vitamin B12 plays a very major role. And for any repair, I can say for any inflammatory repair, omega-3 rich foods plays a major role. You know, the fish, walnuts, akhrots, and fish oil capsules, all these can be helped to reduce the inflammation in that area. And the compression, if the disc is compressed too heavily, we can go with glucosamine supplements. We have even so many clients who have reported that a very good usage of our glucosamine Nutralite supplements for 4 to 6 months, 1 to 1.5 mm growth of this disc is also been evident. They can go with some supplement support also. And physiotherapy, this works the best, I can say. So whatever neck straightening or stretching exercises, postural training will be guided. So you can go for a few days, and later you need to continue in your home. And ice pack and hot pack, I can say, massaging that, because immediate hot and after 2 hours immediate cold will give that muscle some relaxation. That will be, of course, of temporary relief. But major, we tell to avoid steroids and surgeries only if it is a very, very severe cases, you need to go for that. And whatever we can say is prevention is always better than cure, right? If you are overweight, your BMI is more than normal, first please do come to your ideal weight. Manage with balanced foods, more fibers, water, protein foods, and decrease your carbohydrates. And avoid too much of postural defects, and walking and sitting, whatever the postures, and stay physically active. Don't be the sedentary one, and you can sleep with good support. And the next important thing in the diet management, what we focus is omega-3 rich foods, calcium rich foods, and even vitamin D. So you can go for some seeds, nuts, mushrooms, fish, some seafoods also. If you are a pure vegetarian, please go with some omega-3 capsules, which will help you in reducing the inflammation. And remember, one thing is that we are giving some lifestyle change, which is giving that compression and that inflammation. Spondylitis, itis is inflammation. So it's our responsibility to know the root cause and remove that and lead a very great and happy life. So usually it will be confused with some other body pains, like frozen shoulder. Diabetics usually have that frozen shoulder. So control your sugar cravings and sugar intake also, or check your diabetic levels. And every year go for your vitamin B12 and vitamin D test, because in the blood test only we can understand this vitamin levels, and we can refill this with proper food diet and nutritional supplements. So overall health we can give with your food, of course. And if it is very severe, then please do contact your doctor. Yeah. All the very best, and stay fit, stay healthy.